Okay. So as we promised you yesterday, what we will start doing is we will go over a quick review. We will do a couple of examples, and then I'll give you an activity, few nice questions to solve, and then we will discuss them. Okay. So let us start with the interpretation of these regular expressions. So who's gonna uh, tell me about the first one? What does it match? The first regular expression, yes, go ahead. Whenever it sees any AN sequence, right? Whenever it sees any AN sequence. طيب. What about the second one? It's either A or N, صح? It's either A or N. The third one. Any character except small a, small n, صح? طيب, fourth one. Any capital letter, right? Any capital letter. Fifth one. Any character except the new line, صح? Except the new line. Any character except the new line. The fourth one. One or more A's, right? One or more A's. اللي بعده. Zero or more A's. اللي بعده. Either A exists or does not, right? Either A exists or not. So basically, if we look at the first one, here we have three different matches, right? For AN. Here it is A or N. So for example, here, by the way, we have three matches, not two matches. Don't be fooled by this. I wish this could have been done such that there are different lines, right? So A is one match, N is another match, the second A is the third, the second A is the third match. This is basically not A nor N. So you have animal, for example. So we have three matches, I, M, and L. This one is, as you said, any capital letter. This is any character. One or more A, it could be any of those. Zero or more A's. And finally, zero or one A. So it could be, yes.
When it will be only a single match?
When it will be what?
Only a single match, that it will stop at the first AN, for example, or at A or N. The second one,
Walaikum assalam. Second one, what do you mean? This one?
Yeah, should it only stop at A? Because it's either A or N, and it should be only.
That's right, but basically we have three matches. Yani the first match is the first A, the second match is the N, صح? And then the third match is the second A. So we have three matches. If we are looking for the first match, it's basically the first A.
When we will say that it is only a single match, it will match only once.
No, we will not say that. Later on, when we do, for example, corpus, if we want to count the number of words or whatever, we want to find all the matches, صح ولا لا? So we need to count them. So usually we look for all the matches. Usually we do not look for only the first match. We will look for all the matches.
Because there is an example before that we stop at P.
Yes. But I think it should have been, mentioned that, yeah. No, wait a second. One of the examples which has the caret in the beginning, صح? Yeah. but the A is not matched because it's not the beginning of the word. ما في match أصلا. Okay, but if we are matching capital letters regardless of the location on the line, then we would match the capital P and the capital A. Okay, طيب نعم.
For the 0 or 1A,
Mm.
basically all the characters, because it's 0 or 1A.
Well, that's according to Jurafsky, right? That's what he says. If he says 0A can match anything, huh?
Yes, so 0A or 1A is basically all possible.
لا 1A is 1A, صح?
Yes, 0A is all the other characters.
0A is all the other characters, according to him.
So we included all the characters basically. Because we included the A and all the other characters.
Yes. Yes, and that's why, to tell you the truth, يعني في النفس منها شيء. يعني this interpretation of Jurafsky, I don't know. Saying 0 occurrences of a letter means you can take any other letter and يعني replace it with it. في النفس منها شيء. Okay. طيب. Okay. Now let's look at this. So here we are using the parentheses, صح? And then we have HA and then we have plus. So this means one or more occurrences of the group, صح? اللي هي ال HA, right? So all these apply. طيب, I need somebody to explain to me this one. It's HA or HE, and we can repeat as we wish. So we don't have to repeat HA, 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 صح? We can first choose HA, then we choose HE, then we choose HA, and so on and so forth, right? طيب. Now, what about this? First of all, who's going to remind me with the \1? What is the \1? It basically it's the first register that contains the contents of the first bracketed expression, صح? The first bracketed expression. So now, as here it says, we can have HA, HA, or HE, HE. طيب. Can I have HA, HE? Why not? هيها HA is HA or HE? أيوة. HA, the second one has to be exactly the same as the first. So HA, HA, HE, HE. You cannot have HA, HE, or HE, HA. Okay? If I wanted to have HA, HE, and HE, HA, I could have used the plus, right? Here we don't have repetitions. Here we have only 4 characters. Because we have one of them followed by its copy. Now,
Why should it be only one HA?
no, because of the \1.
Yeah, so we will bring back.
So we will copy.
So the first HA.
The first HA will come from the first from here. The second one is basically a copy of the first one. A plus sign if you don't want any limit on the length. This is only repeated once. Okay, this is only repeated once. Now.
The first will be matched, then backslash the pattern. So basically, the \1 should be at the last, right?
The \1 should be and the last. هي هلا هون وين؟
With the match.
Oh, you're talking about substitution. You're talking about replacing. No, but we can also use it within the same pattern. We can use it within the same pattern. Okay. Okay. طيب. How come this is? You should not see the answers. لحظة شوي. What did I open? I think I did open the things that I have written. Yes. طيب. Okay, let's do this. Huh? No, don't close all your eyes. I'll make it much easier. طيب. The funny thing is, you're gonna see all this in the recording. Okay. Now it's a little bit better. Fine. Okay. So now what we want, the first example, we want to match patterns like this. Let me take the, so basically I want column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, etc. I want to match this pattern. ايش رايكم؟ I want to match this pattern. There could be, there is only one space here, one space, but here could be any number of spaces. Here could be any number of spaces, maybe even including 0. Okay? But between the word column and the digit, or the number, basically it is one space. So I need somebody to come here and write the expression.
Are the digits fixed?
Not fixed. I can go to 1,000, 2,000. I can go wherever I want.
Can it be, for example?
Huh?
Can it be, for example, column 2, column 5, column 7? Like
Yeah. It could be anything. Oh, it makes sense to go 1, 2, 3, 4, but it also can be, you know, column 10, column 20, 30, 40, 100.
What do you want to do? And do you want to
I want to match this line.
with covering the space between each column and the others? Not the one between the n and the number. I mean,
Between the n and the number, there is one space.
yes, but the other space.
But the other spaces could be 0 or more.
And should we match it as well?
What do you think? If you don't match it, will you be able to match the whole line?
Typing. Can I say it or do you want to?
Yeah, go ahead.
For example, CO with the word itself and
طيب, هيدا word, column, and then
the bracket.
the bracket. طيب. So, by the way, when you write, or like in the quiz or in the assignment, or if there is a space, you can do this, right? So column space. Now I can put the square bracket 0 to 9, and then plus.
No, that's my
ليش؟
Because it will repeat the number only.
Huh?
It will repeat the number only.
So between brackets, all of them.
should be between brackets. And also there is the space. You have to
We need them in order, the numbers, right?
Okay, wait a second. First of all, from 0 to 9, and I didn't say that I have only a single digit.
It might be more.
I can have more than one digit. صح? So I need this plus
inside.
for the digits. Okay? I need this plus for the digits.
And
طيب.
now between brackets, another plus.
بعدين, okay. So now we will put the whole thing between brackets. صح? So let's put this between a bracket. And since I can have here 0 or more spaces, let's allocate for the space. ايش رايكم? So we will have space star, right? So this will give me 0 or more spaces, صح? This will give me 0 or more spaces. And then I will do this, and I will do the star or the plus. It's up to you. Let's do the plus. Okay, assuming that I have at least one word. I have at least one column. Yes.
I think it should not be star on the space because the word column should not be connected to the digits.
The word column should not. Well, it is not connected to the digits because I have a space between
I
them.
mean the second space.
The second space, aywa.
Yes, you put star. That means
Yeah.
it is 0
It-
or more spaces.
Yeah. So in that,
So the C will be connected to the digits.
it could be connected to the previous number. The C could be connected to the previous number. And by the way, somebody asked me yesterday regarding the backslash B.
Yes.
ترى الباكسلاش B is exactly the same as backslash capital W. لأنه إيش إحنا قلنا this is boundary صح؟ Boundary means it is not a letter, it is not a digit, it is not an underscore, which is basically the same definition of the backslash capital W.
And the website's different.
Well, let's have our book as the point of reference whenever there is a difference.
How would this of the exclamation marks, the question marks?
Yeah, what about them?
W will include it. Is it included in B? It will not be included in B.
Which one?
In B, the question mark, exclamation mark, dot, it will not be included. However, in W, it will be included. The symbols. The symbol.
No, the symbols are also included in backslash B. Yes. In backslash B, all the symbols are included. Backslash, this is according to what I...
Because I tried it yesterday on the website.
well, that's something different. يعني, anyways, and to tell you the truth, I haven't tried it on the website, and I just checked the textbook, and this is what I understood. So if هذا I'll check on the website again. طيب.
Doctor,
نعم.
the second space, can we replace it with backslash S or something? Or is it
The backslash S. The backslash S. Well, because I said space. The backslash S will contain tabs و صح?
Yeah.
Right. طيب. Okay, so we're done with this one. Now let's go to the second one. Now here, assume that you are actually you're on Amazon, and you are searching for a computer with a certain specifications, right? Now, the specifications that you have in mind are that it should have at least 500 gigabytes. Actually, I don't like red on the... You have at least 500 gigabyte of disk space for less than $1,000. Okay, for less than $1,000. So we would like to represent, at least 500 gigabytes and at most, or not at most, actually strictly less than 1,000. How would you do that?
You just want to
Because remember, what do we want? We want to get all the machines that have at least 500. So I need to have a pattern that will capture anything which is 500 or more gigabytes.
52900.
Hmm?
Oh, no, we need to have all. You might have more than 1,000 gigabytes. Also.
طيب. So basically, what you're saying is now for the gigabytes, 5 to 9, صح?
Yes, but then 00 plus.
No, not zero. Any digits from 0 to 9.
And then any digit from 0 to 9, صح?
Yes.
We can use curly brackets.
Again,
What? Huh?
we need two digits.
We need 2 digits. So we can either repeat it, or we can use the curly bracket. And we have 2, صح? طيب, what about more?
Yeah, we'll need to have all also.
What about more?
Plus,
At least 2, صح?
But this, at least two will have 5,000 gigabytes.
طيب, ما هي at least. ما هي at least 500.
The first one should be 1 to 4, right?
عيد مرة ثانية.
The first digits should be 0 to 4.
Which one?
We need 500, right?
We need at least 500.
At least.
Okay, we need.
1,000 gigabytes. How this will match the 1,000 gigabytes?
Well, in that case, it will not match the 1,000. It will match the 5,000 and more. It will match the 5,000 and more. طيب. So so we took care of, the 500 until 599. Now we need to take care of the 1,000, صح? So do we need we need a pipe, and now we will allocate for the case when we have more than 1,000 gigabytes, right? So what will so it will be
1 to 9. It could be 0 to 9 if it is, for example, leading 0.
1 to 9. 1 to 9, and then followed by 0 to 9, صح? Followed by 0 to 9. Now, how many of these are we going to have?
3.
We're going to have at least 3, صح?
At least 3.
We're going to have at least 3. Okay. طيب.
Can it be repeated 3 times?
Huh?
Can it be repeated 3 times?
Can it be repeated 3 times?
Yes.
Yes. هيها. This can be repeated 3. This has to be repeated actually 3 times. عشان يطلع فوق ال 500.
Instead of the curly brackets, we can.
Yeah. No. See, but the problem is if you only repeated it 3 times, what about 4 or 5 or 6? Okay. So to use the counter like this is much better.
Can add the star, or I mean the plus.
And sometimes you can add the plus. For example, you need to add the plus after the third one. Yes.
Duplicate 0 to 9.
Yes.
3 times.
0 to 9. 0 to 9, and then 0 to 9 plus. That will take care of
Make
it.
sure that the minimum is.
Yes. So there is not a single way of doing it. Okay. طيب. So we took care now of the whole number, and just in case if there is fractions or what we can do is we can do something like this. We need the dot, صح?
Yeah.
So we need basically backslash dot and then 0 to 9 plus, I don't know.
Star.
Well, to avoid the star, we're going to do this.
Backslash dot y.
For example, if it says 1000.3.2.5.
It will already detect the 1000.
No, the point.
Yeah, but it will find the 1000, right? Regardless of the point.
We don't care about the point.
Regardless of the point.
If it's 1000.5, it will detect the 1000 alone, and that's enough for us.
That's enough. If I don't look for, continue looking for,
What about the GB?
اللي هي GB.
Yeah, how you
Okay.
So I need to also take care of the GB, right? فايش راح نسوي؟ طبعا ال GB it could either be written as gigabytes, صح? Or it could be written as GB, small or capital, right? You can basically do that here. Okay? This is for the GB. Huh?
Space, optional space maybe, between the number and the gigabyte.
Well,
Optional space.
our optional, border like this, \b.
Sorry? Yeah. Yes, maybe. Boundary me.
Backslash B is not a space, right?
\b is not a space. It's a boundary. But yeah, we might need it if there was a space between the number and
So space
gigabyte, because by the way, also sometimes they are connected.
question mark.
It's good to put it within the question mark. Okay.
With the decimal, with the point.
لا خليها أحسن separate, yes. Okay, so what did we say here? Question mark, and then shall we say boundary or shall we say white space? White space, S, صح? S.
Shouldn't we put plus for certain multiplication?
For
0 or more maybe. More than one space. Or this will cover even for multiple spaces.
which one?
This maybe there is 2 spaces between 500 and GB, maybe. Or 0.
So then maybe what we can do is we can say star. \s star. Okay, and then don't forget the gigabyte. Okay, don't forget the gigabyte.
Shouldn't we put the whole thing in parentheses for the gigabyte? Because the pipe is now including the GB.
Maybe it's a 1 terabyte.
نعملها بايب تاني. أنا to tell you the truth, my interest from this question was the representation of 500 or more. Okay, 500 or more. This is one thing. Now for the second one, I want less than 1,000. For less than $1,000. Now the numbers are usually written like what? If they are less than $1,000, then I have basically 3 digits, dot, sometimes dot 2 digits, صح?
Yeah.
for the prices. Okay? طيب. So now, how can I say that it is going to be less than 1,000 using the pattern?
0 to 9.
0 to 9.
3 times 0 to 9.
Maximum 3 times.
Maximum 3 times 0 to 9. طيب. So basically, I'm going to say here 0 to 9. And then dash star. Curly bracket. Now, I want to specify 1 up to 3. طيب. And by the way, usually there is a dollar which is right next to it, صح? I can put the dollar here, صح? And it will not be mistaken as the end of line. Okay, because since it came in the beginning, we know that we don't mean by the dollar sign here that this is the end of the line. طيب. So 0, 9 repeated 1 to 3 times. طيب. بعدين backslash dot because I want the dot. وبعده 0 to 9. 0 to 9. أيوة. And sometimes we can have this, sometimes we may not have it, صح?
Yes.
So I'm going to put it between brackets and I'm going to say question mark because it is optional. Finally, I can just put the boundary character.
0 to 9 means that I need 2 digits after the decimal.
Yes.
Precision is used plus to include 1 or 2.
Huh?
0 to 9 plus.
0 to 9 plus, I think it will be more inclusive of all possibilities.
لا بس 0 to 9 plus معناته صار 1 و 2 و 3 و 4 و 5 بس احنا usually we use only 2 for يعني the fractions of the dollar. Usually it's like 99 or something like this.
Before the dollar sign, shouldn't we have backslash?
Before the dollar sign.
So this will not be considered as end of.
No, because we know from the context, this does not mean that this is the end of line. It's not, the dollar sign is not appearing in the end.
Yes.
If the dollar sign, if something appears after the dollar sign, definitely you don't mean that, this dollar sign means that this is the end of the line. If it was the end of the line, المفروض ما يكون في وراها أي شيء، صح ولا لا؟ Yes. So from the context, يعني we're able to determine that from the context.
Doctor,
نعم.
dollar sign, it will not indicate by itself that's in the end of the line. It should be dot dollar sign, right?
No.
What if you wanted to match?
No, I think, just a second. الدولار ساين واحدة منهم Well, it's not one of them. And I remember seeing in the book that, if the dollar sign appears in the middle, it usually, it knows that it's not the end of line. But if you want to add the backslash, add the backslash. يعني الأحوط. Add the backslash. But I remember seeing that, I remember reading that usually if the dollar sign does not appear at the end, just like الكارت. الكارت, your textbook, when it appears in the middle, it does not expect it to mean, this is a negation or this is the beginning of the line, right? Although the website did not like it. When we put it in the middle, did not like it. But your book says no. يعني from the location of the of the line, you should be able to interpret or to know what does it do. Yes.
Now, this particular expression, we use it also in other, like other website in Python or in other softwares. We use the same regular expression.
They usually use the same symbols for the regular expressions. Yes.
Are we going
Yes.
to face these differences between different languages?
No, I don't think that they will be different. I don't think they will be different.
Will be all exactly the same?
They are, well, most probably when I give you the assignment, it will be on Python. I will expect you to abide by, Python, which I think it's the same. طيب. So the password, I'll give it to you for the activity. Let's do this last one. Match at the beginning of a line any single word that does not start with the. How can I do that?
Put the dollar sign. The dollar sign and the
We can use the boundary.
Huh?
Boundary.
The boundary.
To make single word.
If you try the boundary, it will not work.
We use the caret. For the beginning of the-
Caret, طيب. You'll use the caret and then bracket, another caret.
Do you consider small t or no?
No, just capital T, small h, small e.
Yeah, the bracket.
Huh? The bracket
Yes.
and then
The
THE. This is exactly what I did on that website.
Boundary.
And it was wrong.
The website is wrong.
Boundary.
The boundary, well, we need the boundary because we need to match a single word. Huh?
Yes, yes.
We need the boundary, but this will not work. I tried it, it doesn't work. So what should we do in this case? Yes.
Need the pipeline.
The pipeline. لا.
The boundary should be inside.
عيد مرة تانية.
The boundary should be inside.
The boundary should be inside. لا, هنا it should not be in fact, it should be outside. It should be like this, huh? Because I don't want to exclude the boundary. And I want to no, just a second. It should be inside, you're right. Although يعني the whole solution is wrong, بس معلش رح أمشي معكم. Because I want it as a word, right? So if it was theology, THEO, then this is something that I really don't want. So \b, okay. طيب, and then
Close the brackets.
أنا
it didn't work.
I think we need to include the other sequence of letters that completes the.
No. Do you remember this?
Yes.
We need to look ahead assertions. Okay, and in fact, this one I need to fix it because how to match at the beginning of a line any single word that does not start with volcano. I need to add the boundary. I need to look also for the boundary. So anything that matches volcano boundary, I don't want to include it in the match, right? And then of course I have here A to Z plus, and I also need a boundary, huh?
Doctor, I don't think it requires boundary here. Yes.
Why
It
not?
does not require boundary because the question say that it does not start with volcano, either connected or disconnected from the next one.
Now, but it says any single word.
Yes.
Single word means this is a single word, huh?
Yeah,
No,
single
but the
word.
word starts with theology contains the. Oh, sorry.
Volcanoes.
Theology is the word
يعني
that starts with
يعني
the.
here it says how to match at the beginning of a line any single word that doesn't start with volcano.
Volcano is
The
a
word
part of
itself.
the-
So volcano is part of the word, you mean?
Yes. With a single word.
Ah,
maybe.
طيب. In that case, نرجع.
ما في word
وكذا query.
Well, this is what he asked for. Okay. طيب. So let's go back then to my
We will
question.
need a boundary. لا صح ما we don't need.
No, because it's part.
It's only one.
It could be part of the single word. It's basically part of the single word. طيب. So now we need to use look ahead assertions, right?
Yes.
يلا.
Carrot.
Oops.
Question mark, exclamation mark.
هذا ليش مو راضي؟ Why it's not working? طيب. I'll do it again. So we're gonna start with a line, صح؟
Yes.
طيب وبعدين
Brackets.
Parentheses.
Parentheses.
parentheses, question mark, exclamation mark. طيب.
TH.
THE THE and now I need the boundary, huh?
No,
Could be there.
yeah, it'd be they. Could be.
But I don't. If it was they, that's fine.
No, it says any single word that doesn't start with.
The same as volcano.
Match at the beginning of a line any single word that is not that. To tell you the truth, that's what I meant. Okay? I'll fix all these, inshallah. So match at the beginning of a line any single word that is not that. Okay? So now do we need
Boundary.
boundary? Okay. طيب. So basically this is what I don't want, right? And now I can put here A to Z, capital A to capital Z, and
Doctor, do we need the boundary? We said already it's beginning of the line.
The question is different now.
no,
لا لا, we already said it's beginning of the line.
yeah, but it's any single word that is not the. So
The beginning, it's beginning of the line. We don't need anything else. So only the first word in the beginning of the line. If it matches, okay. If it doesn't,
so if you see this word, it will be matched or it will not? It will.
Based on.
It should be it should be matched because it is not the, صح? But if I don't put the boundary, it will not. It will be identified as THE, and it will not be matched.
okay, ده مسمين الثاني. After the 0 to Z, A to Z, capital I. Do we need boundary or
You need boundary to get the word, صح?
because
We need a boundary because I need to match a single word. I need any word that is not THE, basically. صح؟ I don't want to match the whole لحظة شوي.
in the beginning.
صح. You're right. So basically what you're saying is there is no need for الباوندري because I don't know why it worked now. طيب تمام. Okay. So I think now you're ready to do the activity. يلا نعطيكم. I'll give you. So this is done by. By the way, the first 4 questions were actually from a quiz by previous quiz. كيف هتمشوا ولا كيف انت بتيجي مع اليمين ولا مع الشمال؟ منزل بين المنزلتين شو قصدك؟ لا يعني انا قصدي يعني مع مين بدك تشارك مين؟ خلص ايه اثنين مع بعض ما اختبار لازم
اوكي صح نسيت.
Huh? No, go ahead. Do whatever you want with the slides. Yeah, sure. Oh, by the way, you can't see the slides because the solution is there for the password. خلاص, go ahead.
The passport is one expression.
One expression for all properties.
Yes. You need more time?
Yeah, we need more time.
5 more minutes, huh? يوردان
200% كلها صح.
خلص خليها معكم.
لا لا امزح
بتروح تشكوا على بعض هلا.
ها؟
مين خلص؟
اللي لقيت غلط اسبوعين عشك علي.
زاد صوت.
خليني اعطيه هو يصلح. انا مالي دخلت.
الكلام مش من جميع. هذه
في شيء هنا
الله يبارك صعب اسبوعين يا جماعه.
انا معكم الاسبوع من حضرت القسم طلع
كذا يا اخي.
ايوه
المشي طلعت خطوه مره
نعطيك
المشي هذه طلعت خطوه ثاني مره عشان ما الاسبوع
يوم واحد
طب ليش مو هاي؟
How would you guarantee
خلاص خليها we go over it. طيب يا شباب let's try to solve it together. طيب for the first one, which of these will match the strings revolution, revolutionary, and revolutionary? Which one? B. صح؟
Which one? B.
B. And why is it not C? Because it can be zero revolution. صح? Because it can be zero revolution. طيب. Number 2. Which of these will match the strings revolution, revolution, and their plural variants only?
C.
C.
Yes.
Because for the plurals it should be optional. If you put plus ولا star معناته بطل plural. صح؟ طيب. Part 3. If brackets are used to define a group, what would match the regular expression? A. Why is it not B? The second 11557. We have 5 instead of 4. طيب. و C. There is no dot at the end.
Yes.
In C there is no dot at the end. D. اللي هي 1885. It is 4 instead of 3. It is 4 instead of. طيب. Which of the following strings is not matched by the regular expression B, A, B, pipe A, star, D star? D. So we get A by choosing B and then empty D, صح? طيب. و B, and then we choose A, B, and then D, صح? طيب. C, B, A, لا, B, A, D. So this is the first one. And then we have B, A, and then A, B, and then D, and then we have B, A, D, صح?
Yes.
طيب. The third one, the last one.
You have 2 B's in a row.
Because we have 2 B's in a row. So we have B, A, and then D, صح? And then we have B, A, and then we have B, and then we have another B. And that cannot happen. Okay? And that cannot happen. Fine. Who is going to tell us regarding the string, the password? لا احنا we want to document العشاء تعال.
مشكلة خطي مو واضح ترى إذا ما فهمت شيء.
Just
هنا.
ايه رايت هنا. ها؟ رايت وبعدين نشوف.
ايش يا دكتور؟
خلص الدور.
عاد إذا خلص مو مشكلتي. طيب بعدين قفل.
بدك تمحي؟ لحظة. خطك دائما هيك كبير؟ الخط هيك دائما كبير؟
والله اليوم شيء يا دكتور.
لحظة
يعني أنا أعني معه صراحة.
لو تقعد وتكتب زي كأنك عم تكتب على ورقة عادية، يعني حط ايدك ترى هنا ما في مشكلة. اوكي.
مرة ثانية. أصغر خط.
يمكن كده تكون أحسن.
أنا أقول نروح نصلي يا دكتور.
ما يكفي دكتور لو رايح اختبار. لازم مرتين اختبار. الاكزامز لازم اديشنال بيبر.
So who is going to criticize this solution? ايش المشكلة؟
First of all, it has to follow the order, capital small digits.
ليش؟
It has to follow. Well, there is no order, by the way.
ما في order.
The only thing that I can't see here are what are the assertions? What are the assertions?
بالضبط.
الassertions وين؟
أي أسئلة؟
طيب. Let's take the solution. Okay, let's take the solution. So what he wrote here, starting from here, اللي هي A to Z, and then small a to z, 0 to 9, 6 to 12. If all the conditions are satisfied, this is correct. صح ولا لا? This is correct. The only thing is,
All small.
if all small, if all capital, if all right, if there is not a single, because what does the question say? It says we must have at least one uppercase letter. We must have at least one lowercase letter. We must have to have at least one digit, صح? One digit. So how do we do that? Well, we do that by saying, well, first of all, I need one small letter, صح? Okay. So how can I get small letter? Well, you can say dot star, right? And then followed by A to Z, right?
ليش dot star?
Dot star means any character. Basically, the assertion will do what? Will look at the password, صح? It will skip any character until it reaches the first ايش? The first single, the first small letter.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the first.
Victor, what if it was a symbol? A symbol then a small letter.
Say that again.
What if it was a symbol? At then a small letter.
No. See, there will be no at in the password because this is what he said here. He said the password only contains.
No, but the dot before the star.
I don't care. I don't care because if there was an at, it will be taken care of by this expression. This expression does not allow for special symbols, صح ولا لا؟ فخلاص I don't worry about it. I put a dot because it could be any character, صح? You're right, and you could have used A to Z or the \W مثلا. You could have used that, but it really doesn't matter. This is the first assertion, and then what is the second assertion? The second assertion is that we need a capital letter, صح?
For the capital.
And then a third assertion, which is to have at least one digit, صح?
A white card need to be after all.
أي مطعم؟
Say that again.
أي مطعم؟
The white card
The white card.
should be also after the
محمد لا 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 مشغول اليوم مشغول مع الأهل.
Not after. أنا basically I'm looking for يعني what does this say? It says it looks for a small letter, regardless where it is, صح? And this one looks for a capital letter, regardless where it is. It could be in the beginning, يعني dot star. It could be an empty, صح? It could be anywhere. And similarly for the third one. And
they are somehow ended.
Yes.
In this case.
Yes, because they have all to be what you call all have to be correct, صح? So this is the first assertion, this is the second assertion, the third assertion. Yeah, and that's it. And the only thing that is maybe left is, since this is a password, it should start where? From the beginning of the line, and the last thing it will be ايش? The end of the line. That's it. واضح? Okay.
So the above line should be below.
Yeah, the above line is after what he wrote, except for this يعني, what he wrote goes here. واضح? And this is the beauty behind the look ahead assertions. Look ahead assertions do not, you do not move the like the pointer, the cursor. You do not look you just check the string. Does it satisfy, the pattern or no? If this is satisfied, and this is satisfied, now we go to the pattern. What does the pattern contain? Small letters, capital letters, digits. And between, what is the length? From 6 to 12. واضح يا شباب? So inshallah in the quiz, if I bring you this, inshallah all of you will get hundreds. طيب معلش أخرناكم شوي. Okay, so inshallah we will start the next. There is a small thing we'll do, and then we will start our next topic بإذن الله next Sunday.